Welcome to Kicks Gaming. This is Papa Kicks. We're going to do a full maze run today. To start off, our gear is common maze, perfectly rolled. I'm giving myself that advantage. And then level 3 gems was the restriction. So I chose XP, HP, regen, which I regret. Probably helped out, but maybe not as good as something else. Life drain, and poison. I started off with Gorgon with XP for the lower levels, Death Strike, and Lifesteal. Makes a very easy floor 1 run. Next up was Pirate. Pirate was okay. Used a lot of pushback, needed multi-shot, and just a lot of kiting and using that life drain, and that regen actually kicked in on these lower levels as well. Pirate's probably better for later levels, but it's fine, it works. Renderman, you want stealth or fast stealth, Death Strike. One thing to note is that both poison and burn can trigger Death Strike, so it can proc even while you're stealthed, which is pretty awesome. One other thing to point out is that when Death Strike does proc, it seems to give you full life drain for the health depleted. So if it's a huge HP enemy, you're going to get a huge life drain buff, basically a lifesteal. And I'm going to speed up this section. I chose not to get that shrine because I figured I could get a level up on this fight, or on the rest of the floor. I have to keep moving, otherwise the stealth will turn off and I'll attack. And I wanted to pick my positioning. Now I take the level up. Snowman's very easy. He's got that built-in crowd control with the slow, similar to Protector. And Ricochet makes it very easy to just clean up a room. That's why he's so good on co-op. And with Life Drain and Poison, even better. I'm gonna cut this part. I didn't cut it, I just spit it up 600%. I'll see you in a second. I chose Ifrit for my first boss, particularly because he has Ricochet and can clear the ads. There's multiple times in this fight where I have to run away in order to keep my health back up, but I think I don't let the poison drop off. See there, I get pretty low. With only 1 drain life stone, it's pretty low health drain for the time being. Here's another one where I almost die. Heal up a little bit. And then he starts casting, which is perfect. And a little bit of 2000%, so you don't have to watch all that. Clearing the ads. And victory. Yay, gear. Boom Boom is great for clearing rooms. She gets even better with more life drain. As you can see, I'm doing a lot of kiting. Protector, very easy. Protector with poison is actually really strong. Make sure to clear all the rooms, or all the floors I should say, for the chests, as well as for the XP from each fight. That means if it's not a boss floor, I also try to bring as much XP as I can, within reason. This room got annoying with those being able to throw over the walls. Huntlisk is actually not that great with a poison gem. It only adds a little bit of damage compared to his default. You'll notice that later in the maze, especially when you get better and better gear, that Huntlisk just isn't as good as he used to be. But that's okay, because other hunters are now shining when they wouldn't have before. It's always good to bring Ricochet, if you have it, for clearing these rooms. Ripper, you just want to keep kiting to keep the debuff up. By default it lasts I think 5 seconds. With a few buffs it'll last longer. As long as it doesn't wear off, you're good to go. A little bit slower killing than other hunters, but it works. Next boss fight, I chose Skullmaster. His best strategy is to run through everything, as you can see. It's better than trying to tank. For the boss fight, I don't want to get hit, so I'm going to run around him until he casts. So when he's summoning, I'm able to just keep standing there. And then once my poison is high enough, I can heal through pretty much anything he throws at me. Very easy fight. Probably should have saved him for later, but whatever. As a reminder, boss can heal 3 times, but there's no time limit. So as long as you can survive, you're good to go. This is Scarecrow. I'm not going to talk about him. You can watch if you want. Otherwise, it's a spoiler. But that's pretty cool. You didn't see that. Okay. Spider Queen. Not my favorite choice, but she works. I do try and get rid of the Death Strike Hunters before 16, because the big monster guy, Ilal said it should be named Chonk, which fits. He's immune to Death Strike, so I'm just clearing up my Death Strike Hunters. Sniper's very easy, especially when you have lots of dust strike. Axe Master is very similar to Pirate. Pretty much same strategy. Just get in their face and push them back. You want multi-shot when you can. Demon Pact. This is kind of boring, so I split it up. Gotta clear the map. Necro is the next one I picked for the boss fight. I got really lucky with how many more minions I got. So this strat should still work even with less minions, but it definitely did not hurt. So when the ads spawn, you got a kite, obviously. The minions that you have permanently, they stay on the boss, which is great. And then whenever you kill the ads, they run to the boss. And when they stay on the boss, poison just keeps stacking. So this strategy works really good. This also works on maze, on floors without healing, because you can just get all your minions on the boss and just keep running around and avoiding getting hit. I thought that looked pretty cool, so. And then speed up so you don't have to watch it. Blue weapon. Even more minions. One thing about Necromancer is if you have 3 total improved minions, they heal you. If you have 4, they no longer heal you, but they freeze. So with Maze Gear, as long as you have Life Tree, you do want that 4th one. If you don't have Maze Gear and you need the heals, then you want to just stay at 3. Vlad, I focused on ricochet, distance and damage, and he was very easy. Mech, you're going to want fast siege whenever possible, attack speed, improved siege, and dust strike. And you see he just whittles through these enemies, even the ones that are immune to dust strike. Not a problem at all. I almost didn't get fast siege if you noticed my buffs. That would have sucked. Would have still been doable, but gotta clear the map. Bunny with Maze Gear, specifically poison, becomes pretty awesome. So more rabbits is like a beefed up Necromancer or Spider Queen with tons of spiders. Just tons of poison stacks really quick. On these kind of ads, it also has ricochet, so you're just clearing these rooms super fast. In hindsight, Bunny would actually work pretty well on the boss. Just getting those poison stacks up would have been crazy. These enemies are brutal. The casting ones, they pretty much act like gentlemen. So if you're standing with a hat or scythe would be, scythe, it just shreds your HP, so you gotta be careful. And that's actually how I died to the boss. So. Life Stealer, I picked my boss very carefully and could not continue, which was great. So here we go, Mad Doctor. Yeah, those casters are just brutal. A lot of kiting, because his damage starts out so low. You just gotta keep your life drain up. One thing that I find helps is to try and kill groups at a time instead of just one at a time. Then it goes a little bit faster. Abusing the line of sight on the casters, which is great. And sped it up so you don't have to sit through that. And here comes the boss. Not yet. False alarm. These are the trunk guys that I was talking about. They're immune to Death Strike. Alright, here we go. So you want to avoid his attacks, especially when you can't out heal it or you have low HP. You want to avoid his minions. They're just... That gentleman attack really sucks. You can see my damage is already very high and going even faster. But unfortunately I screw up here. So he's summoning more. I want to run away. Nope. So one thing I would change about this run is probably ditch that regen on my gear for movement speed. Otherwise XP to get more levels. So here's our final list. It worked. Except for my doctor, of course, but that was just my mistake. Obviously Scarecrow, not available, but you should be able to figure out one extra hunter in there. And no other real surprises. Alright, I hope this was helpful. And this is my longest video ever, so thanks for sitting through it. Big shout out to my patrons. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe. Papa Kicks out.